Yo, what's going on, guys? It's the Alchemist, and I'm bringing you part 2 of drinking games with my girlfriend here on 2K12. This is actually the first game we played, and the FIFA game that I put up originally as part 1 was the third, but it just got mixed up, but that doesn't really matter. I had originally done this commentary just talking about the game and what we were doing and all that sort of crap, but I sort of decided that I didn't want to talk about it, so I deleted it and I'm doing it over because what I do want to talk about is basketball. Because as you see, I'm playing as the Heat and my girlfriend's playing as the Lakers, and her pick really doesn't matter because she doesn't know anything about basketball. She just picked the Lakers because she knows that I don't really like them since I'm a Heat fan. But I want to know what basketball teams you guys follow, because I'm from Miami, so I've liked the Heat for a long time. But I know lately, in the last couple of years, well, especially since we got LeBron and Bosh last season, it's like a fad to not like the Heat, even if you don't really care about any other team. It's sort of just unexplainable, especially to people from Miami who love the Heat, even though I do credit the people who hate on them by saying there's a lot of bandwagon fans, and that's the truth because there definitely are in Miami. But at the same time, there's a lot of people who really follow basketball, have always really been Heat fans, and now they're catching shit because they like their team and they got lucky that their team came up on some big free agent signings. But whatever, that's besides the point. What I want to know is what teams other people like, especially when they're hating on the Heat, because as it stands today, which is technically now April 9th, the Heat are in second place in the East and they're following Chicago, who's first place, and in the West it's San Antonio in first place and Oklahoma City in second place. But if I had to give my guess about how the playoffs and the finals are going to go, it's most likely going to be the Heat and Oklahoma City from the West, just because even though the Spurs and the Bulls are number one in both conferences, the Spurs by far the most boring team in the NBA, and I can't stand them. And they haven't really been doing too well in the playoffs. And the Bulls, I don't even know how they're in first place. Like, they have great games, but then at the same time, they have epic meltdowns. Like today, they lost to the Knicks, it was, because they let up 2 late three-pointers by Carmelo Anthony when he was really back from the three-point line, and they were in his face, and they still couldn't stop him. I don't even know, but I like the Bulls just because I like Derrick Rose, because I think he's a great player and he's younger than me, so I find it amazing that he's so good. And I used to like the Bulls back when I was younger because of Jordan, pretty much like everybody else in the world. But I obviously like the Heat better. So something like that happening to the Bulls is a good thing for me because it puts us in a little better place. And on the opposite side, the Spurs, I don't know how their game went today, but who cares about them? Sorry if you're a Spurs fan and you happen to hear this. I've just always thought they're the most boring team, and I can't stand watching them. And I can't stand when they go to the playoffs because it's such a waste of valuable space and airtime. But anyways, that's enough about my rant about the Spurs. I just wonder, I'm not really even the biggest basketball fan, but I want to know how other people feel about the Heat, how other people feel about their teams, and what do you think is going to happen this year with the playoffs? Because I know mainly because of the lockout, and it cut out like almost 20 games. I think we went to like a 66 game instead of 84 game season. It sort of threw everything upside down because all the first games got cut out, and even a couple of big games got cut out, so that could have made a big difference in the standings and teams' records and whatnot. But I feel like it sort of put everybody on another level because teams were playing games 3 days in a row, which is something they hadn't done ever. Because if you know basketball, since it's such a tiring sport and they have a pretty decent amount of games, they have usually 84 games I think per season, they try to space it out, but playing 2-3 games in a row really mixes it up for these players. So there's some days that players are a lot more tired, they just weren't producing like they used to, and at the same time there's a lot of more injuries going down because they can't really keep up and their bodies just aren't used to it. So this season's different than any other, but I still think that the Heat are going to be able to make it to the playoffs and take it all, even though Oklahoma City's probably going to give them a nice run for their money. But we beat them pretty nicely in the last matchup that we had last week, I think it was. So it'll be pretty entertaining to watch. If I had to guess, I'm thinking 6 games, and we'll probably take it. But I don't know. My personal opinion, obviously, I'm going to think my team wins. Maybe you guys have a different idea. Just let me know. And this was actually sort of entertaining, so I think I might do some more sports talk videos, maybe on different sport background games, but we'll see. I'll catch you guys in the next video, and let me know how you like this one. Later, guys.